Hello my crafty friends, I'm here to do a card share and a long overdue update. If you're just visiting my channel, sorry, I'm going to be a little tongue-tied today. I guess it's Friday and that means you can't talk. Sybil was having the same issue. And I don't know if mine's lack of sleep, possibly. I have not been sleeping well and that's part of the update. But anyway, the noise you're hearing in the background, and I'm so sorry for that noise. Just a second, I'll show you the reason why. That's part of the update. That is Journey. He is my almost 6 months. He'll be 6 months on the 28th. Golden Retriever. He's a English Golden Retriever. He is chewing on a Yeti cheese stick and enjoying it, as you can tell. So that is Journey. He's a good boy, huh? The newest love of my life. So I'll turn you guys back around here. Okay. So please forgive the crunching noise. Okay. So, let's do some card share, and then I'll talk about life update. Okay, let me get organized here. One moment, please. So the first card I made here is for my eldest son's birthday. Yes, I haven't mailed it. He doesn't live that far away, and so I was hoping to give it to him in person with his birthday present, but just because he works so much and we've been so busy with everything that we've had going on, we just haven't gotten together yet, but hopefully soon. And it doesn't matter to Jake, you know, when he gets it. He doesn't care. He still keeps them. So he's a total geek, and so I wanted to do the superhero card, even though he just turned 34. But that's okay, you know, he's my kid. So, I did some distress ink, and this is a Mama Elephant die. I have some of the supplies over here. And just Copic colored these up, used some glossy accents. I actually embossed this, used some vellum stars with some sticky dots. And then on just on the inside it says, "You're my superhero," minus the spandex. You and spandex scares me. I usually make Jacob a funny card for his birthday. And I usually get 2 birthday cards, usually a serious one and then a funny smart aleck card. So this is kind of how we run around here. So some of the supplies that I used for that are... let's see. I used this Mama Elephant Basic Creative Cuts. Okay. I used the Mama Elephant Peekaboo Frames. That's that one. This is the Sweet Stamp Shop Superboy. That's where the sentiment from the inside comes in. Super cute. This is the first time I got to use that. And then I used the Mama Elephant Tiny Heroes and Cityscape. So this is where he has 2 cats and a dog, and last year I made his birthday card with a dog, so this year I figured I better use the cat, or at least one of them. And I also used the Cityscape, and it comes with this die as well for the road. And that is what I used on that one. Okay, so this card, I can't tell you who the image is from. Because I can't find it. But it's a little image I already had colored up. So I just used it. The only thing that I did was I added some glossy accents to the eyes and added the little flower. A lot of the die cuts I also had already, like this right here, and I just ran that through my Cuttlebug Swiss Dots embossing folder, which I'm trying to use those more. And then the thanks here is from Hero Arts, and it comes with a die. And this is one of those sets that you get at Joann's or Michael's. I think I got this at Joann's. But it's super cute. And I just cut that out of paper. The paper that I used was Simple Stories, We Are Family as one of them. And then I also used this Lawn Fawn Rainbow Plaid. You guys know I love my plaid, and I thought those went really well together. And then for the outside cut here, I used the Mama Elephant Peak of Frames again, which is this one right here. And for the outside stitched one, I used the MFT stitch rectangles. And then for this little banner piece right here, that's a My Creative Time stitched oval. And that's what that one looks like. And then here's the inside. Again, just keeping it simple. That's a little inker die set. It is the rounded rectangles. And then for the sentiment, I used the MFT More Essential Sentiments. You Are the Sweetest. And that's what that set looks like right there. It's got a lot of great sentiments. I really like this set. So, and that is card number 2. Sorry for any glare or poor lighting, guys. I'm trying. It's been a while since I've made a video, as you guys know. So I'll be right back with card number 3. Okay, so this card was a really quickie card. The image that's in here is this card base, and the little shaker thing is a jelly bean soup that I got at Michael's a really long time ago, and I'm still trying to use them up, but they're great because the card's already done, and you just have to, you know, put the image on there. So that's what the base is, and the little shaker thing. The image is a pre-colored image from Lily of the Valley. And they came in a, you know, a sheet of them, and all different kitty cats and kind of theme. And I still had a few. I think I have like 3 left, and they're all kind of like New Year's theme. This was the last flower one, but I needed to send a little joy to somebody, and so I made it into a shaker card. There's some sequins and some little seed beads and stuff like that in there. Just a pretty pink plush. I want to say spring mix is what it's called. And just really soft, pretty, you know, little flowers to kind of go with the theme. The paper pad is the Lawn Fawn Rainbow, again. And the outside die is, where'd it go? The the Whimsy Stamps hand-stitched nestled rectangles. They're kind of a wonky die, which I love those. And the little banner here, which is super cute. That was done in a vellum, and then I put PTI Vintage Cream behind it. And it's stamped in MFT Cobblestone, I do believe. This is a Avery L. Woodland Wonders. Super cute set. That was a gift from one of my besties, Tina, and I love this set, and I'm going to use it more. And the sentiment comes from that as well. And so I just stamp that there. And then on the inside, I have a little heart. That is one of the new Spellbinders by Tammy Tutterlow. It's that one. It's that one right there. Just thought it was cute. And then I want to put my little note here. And then the Wishing Joy is from this set, which is Jelly Bean Soup. It's handwritten sentiments. And it's just super cute. It's just a really, I like the font, the combination of the font on there. So that's the sentiment on that one. And then just some more paper on the back. So that is card number 3. And oh, and the little trim here is just a baby pom-pom trim that came from Michael's. And it was just to cover that teeny tiny little gap that you get. So I have it. Why not use it? So that is that one. And on to card number 4. So this one uses the same paper pad. It's the rainbow paper pad. I was in an aqua mood, you guys. And then the base die is, and stamp set is My Creative Times Were Better Together. That's got a coffee donut kind of theme to it, and it has matching dies. And I also used my Avery L postage stamp dies, which I bought a while ago and just now getting to use. And then I pulled out, just for the little coffee beans, I pulled out this one. This is Sugar Pea Espresso Yourself. It's all coffee themed stamps and I love it. And it's got the coffee, latte, and espresso, and then the little beans too is the dies that matches that one. So that's just a good basic set. And then here's a little card. I can get it open. So it says, "Don't you know how sweet you are?" So I just cut this out of PTI Vintage Cream. I used some vellum for the little, you know, whiffs of steam, I guess, and they're a little heart shape. That's from the die set. And then I just used some stickles on them. I cut the tag out of Simon Says Stamps. I think it's called Sea Glass is the color of that. Added some little of my favorite twine, which is a it's a European vintage linen twine. And then the donuts I inked up with Vintage Photo and glossy accented them. They're just layered. These little sprinkles were punched out with the die out of a scrap of one of these rainbow papers, like from, I think it was this one actually. I think it was just a scrap of that, and I just punched it out and then I glued all those little puppies back on there. That took a while. And but I do love that, you know, it gives that sprinkle look to it. And then this is just dark chocolate cardstock from MFT and just glossy accented over it, and then added the frame. And then inside it says "Thanks a Latte," and that's where I stamped the little beans, and that was from that Sugar Pea set. So that is card number 4. And the last thing I have to share with you guys is some Christmas tags that I made. I wanted to make, I don't know why, I was just in the mood to make some Christmas tags, and I figured, well, you know, if I get them done now, then that's one less thing I have to do later, right? Because we always get so bombarded at Christmas time, and I was going through my dies and I found this stuff, and I was like, you know, I'm just going to do it. So that's what I did. So I have just a few here. I'll show you the first one I made, which was kind of the prototype, but didn't end up being the total cut. So here's the first one. And I liked it, but it wasn't quite right. It still needed some work. So then I went on to this one, and this is the final result of the tag. So the die that I used for this, for the base die for the tag, is a W+9 Christmas tag, which is this one. And so it comes with a little hole punch thing, the tag, and then the word joy, which is fantastic. And then for the pine, it's the Joyful Pine set, which comes with Merry Christmas and then the pine. And so all I did basically is cut a strip of this pad paper, and the pad paper I used is the Christmas Deliveries by Cartabella. I bought a couple of pads of this because of all the plaid. I love, love, love this. So it's really pretty paper. I love this pad. It's probably my favorite. So for Christmas. So I just cut a little strip, a 1/2-inch strip, wrap that around the tag. I cut the tags out of 110-pound Recollection cardstock in black. I splattered it with, or sprayed it, I should say, with Lindy Stamp Gang. What is it? It's the non-glitter one. I can't think of that name. It's kind of like the Tim Holtz Distressing. What's the name of that? Oh, I know the name. Flat Fabio. Thank you. Ghost Flat Fabio by Lindy Stamp Gang. Sprayed it with that first lightly to kind of give it that snowy look. Then this paper, I don't know if you guys are picking that up or not. It's actually a wood grain paper that comes in white, and it's from Simon Says Stamps. And I just inked that up with Gathering Twigs by Tim Holtz Distress Ink. And then for the pine, I cut it out twice. I cut it once out of like a craft paper color and once out of the coordinating paper from the collection. And then what I did is I inked it with the Gathering Twigs ink to kind of add some depth to it. And I love, and you know, kind of offset a little bit. I love how that turned out. I mean, you can kind of peek and see where the craft paper kind of peeks out, because, you know, a lot of pine trees have some brown in them. They're not just solid green. You'll see some brown branches and, you know, whatnot. And then for the snow effect, this is a new thing. I got last year, I think, after watching Nicole McGorrick. I'm hoping I'm saying her name right. She used a snow marker. And that's what this looks like. It's by Marvy. And it's kind of like a paint marker. And you just dab, 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 dab. And then you heat it and it poofs. And it looks like snow. And then I just double stacked the paper for the joy is MFT chili pepper. And then I just used a piece of the black 110-pound behind it to give it a little more weight and a little more dimension. And then just glue the tab on, and I mean, seriously guys, that's it. Simple, Simon, but they're really pretty tags. I'm very, very pleased with them. So that is all of my card and tag shares. Yes, I actually have been creating. And now for your update. Give you something to look at. So you guys know that in October my mother-in-law passed away. Since then we've been trying to help my father-in-law, who is he's in the last stages of dementia. He still currently lives at home, which is his wish. So my husband goes over every day and takes care of him for a few hours. My sister-in-law goes over every day, takes care of him for a few hours. My husband got really ill. He got a cold and couldn't get over it. And so that made it a little difficult. And then in December, I hurt my back. I picked up something that I probably shouldn't have picked up. It probably weighed more than I did. I had no business picking it up, but I'm a ginger and I'm stubborn and I hate waiting around for people and I can't sit still for very long. So needless to say, I suffered the consequences. And I really, 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 like, messed up my back. Well, what I didn't know until 3 weeks later when I finally went to the doctor because Tina Tupper Crapper here on YouTube would not leave me alone. Thank you, Tina. And a few of my other friends that get tired of hearing me whine about my back killing me. It was affecting my sciatic nerve. And if you've ever dealt with that, you know how horrible that is. But I found out that I have scoliosis, which was surprising, but not surprising. The reason it's not surprising is because my mother had polio. So they kind of go hand in hand, but I didn't realize that I had one. I knew that my brother had one, but I didn't know that I had one. It's not very large, but it's enough to throw out your back. And not only did it throw out my back, but I ended up being 2 inches shorter on one side while my back was injured. So, and I've never been to a chiropractor before. And so this was like a whole new thing, you know, PT, chiropractor, massage. I'd had massage therapy and I'd had physical therapy before, but I'd never done chiropractor. Man, I wish you would have done this years ago. Oh my gosh, I can't believe what a difference it has made. And now I can actually walk straight, I can stand straight. You can actually tell that you know, I have 2 legs that are the same length. I know that sounds really odd, but if you've ever seen anybody with their gait off, and you can tell that they're like short on one side, and you can feel, oh, it's so painful too. It is so, so painful. So in the middle of, you know, in the middle of having, you know, trying to recover from my back and being so very, very ill with that, I got an ear infection, a sinus infection, and pneumonia all at the same time. Can somebody say I was handed the short stick? I know there are so much worse things out there, and God bless you people who are going through it, but I'll just say this. I can't sit still. I mean, I can, but I have to basically be forced to. I don't sit still for very long. I just don't. I have stuff to do. I have stuff I want to do, and I kind of keep moving. It's really hard just to sit down and to make a card for a couple of hours, because that's sitting down. But, you know, and my hands are busy, my mind is busy. I'm usually okay, but I'm not one to just sit. And especially sit and rest and do, like, nothing. I'll watch a movie and then I'm done. Or, you know, I'll watch a couple of videos and then I'm done. I just keep moving. I go on to the next task. Being that sick, I had to sit. I had to rest. I had to lay down. The doctor wanted me in the hospital, but I'm like, I don't sleep in the hospital. And I honestly don't. Well, for one, they wake you up every 15 minutes, taking your blood pressure. Number 2, it's just too noisy, you know, and I don't have a little fluff to snuggle with, you know. I need a fluff to snuggle with. So it's just, you know, I don't sleep. So I said, no, I want to stay I don't want, you know, I just want to stay home. I don't want to be in the hospital. Just let me go home, and if I'm not better, you know, after taking these mega amounts of antibiotics and steroids within 3-4 days, then I'll come back in and we can talk about it then. Well, they gave me such strong drugs that eventually I was going to get over it, and I'm just now starting to feel better. Like, almost done with the meds, and I'm just now starting to feel like I will live. Scary stuff out there, and it was all from tree pollen. You know, tree pollen started the allergies, which then started the sinuses, and then the sinuses got infected and went into the ear, and then it drained down into the lungs and caused pneumonia. So, yeah, loads of fun. But this is why I have been, you know, so MIA. Also, last year I started remodeling my mom's house. Not that I really wanted to, but, you know, when your furnace malfunctions and all your counters crack and the laminate comes right off the wall from the kitchen backsplash, yeah, you kind of have to. I'm still working on that. I stopped in October when my mother-in-law passed. Well, actually, Thanksgiving week I stopped to spend time with the family, and then I hurt my back. So I haven't been back since, but I've got to get back to that and finish it and get it on the market and be done with it. And then my life can be normal again. So hopefully. I'm trying to get back to normalcy. I don't know if I'll ever be normal. I don't really know if I fit into that category. But that's okay. You know, my normal would be okay. It would be perfectly fine. But I've missed you guys. I mean, I watch a few videos here and there, but I really just don't have the time to sit. And like I said, I don't really sit for very long. So usually if I'm watching YouTube videos, I am in the kitchen doing dishes or folding laundry, or I'm doing something else. Every once in a while when I'm making a card, I'll have it in the background and I'll, you know, catch part of it, but for the most part, no. I don't sit still very long. I mean, I spent 3 days, I think, making, yeah, 3 days making these cards. And again, I'm one of those people that I don't make a card or a project like this, paper-wise anyway, unless I have a purpose for it. I don't make cards unless I need to send a card. Does that make sense? Is anybody else like that? That they only make cards or they only make a project when they have something they need to do, not necessarily that they're just making a card? I think Sybil B and Tracy too, Tracy's Treasures 24, I think they both make cards because they love card making, and then they just put them away and have them. I don't. I actually don't create a card until I'm creating it for a person. So all 4 of these, and well, the tags will be for Christmas obviously, but all 4 of these are already for somebody. So that's why I created cards. So that is my update. Again, I'll give you a cute little look at my puppy. My fluffing stuff. When he was so little, he was so fluffy and cute. Oh my gosh. He's huge now. He's not even full grown. Doc thinks he'll be about probably over 100 pounds. All said and done. Don't swallow that whole. Don't swallow it whole. Don't swallow it whole. Anyway, guys. So that would be my update. I thank you so much for checking in. And I will try to... I have a few more cards to make, so I will try to be back in a few days. And I will catch you guys then. Thanks so much for watching. Make it a happy memory, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.